Won't go. Rebound Bosh. Back out to Allen. His three-pointer. Bang! Tie game with 5 seconds remaining.
Oh yeah. We packing somebody up tonight. Hey. Come on in, take your shoes off before we close the door. Few rules, heat pack in the air, we about to blow. This the basement, ain't nobody safe, you already know. Grab a seat and kick your feet before you get too comfortable. You want the X's and the O's, the trade, yes and no. Friends and the foes, the butlers and the heroes. You can feel it in your soul, when the ring is the goal. But if somebody need to go, we be sure to let you know. Going hard for my dogs is an everyday thing. Like Jimmy down the lane of 13 off the screen. Whole squad keep it tucked like number 17. Bring your takes and your memes, going hard for the team. Going down in the basement. It's going down in the basement. Get your takes off. Get your takes off. Going down in the basement.
Yeah! We have enough grit, toughness, grinding. Welcome to the Basement Sports Network post-game show brought to you by Simple Health Advisors. I'm your host, Royal A. Shepherd. Ladies and gentlemen, you guys were treated to a barn burner tonight. The Heat won against the Indiana Pacers in a 1990 shootout, 87-82. Woo! The display of offense, 38% from the field. 26% from three. Tyrese Halliburton putting up a whopping 1 point in this victory. And I guarantee some of you hoes for to celebrate. Won't be me. I told you bitches last time, I am off of that shit. You want more victory than me to sleep? But like I said, I'm your host, Roy L. Shepherd, and I'm joined today by Jess. Jess, I'm doing a terrible job hosting you. I have not come up with you a proper introduction, title, nickname, or anything. Does not matter. How are you doing today, Jess?
I'm doing good. We'll figure one out at some point when I get made fun of or something, but I'm good, you know?
Easy. I mean, it's an easy one right there for me. You know what I mean? I choose not to take it. I'm walking a different path in my life right now, Jess. Harrison, good to see you, my guy. You're looking snazzy in that dad cap of yours. What is that?
Thank you. It's a new gift I got. I appreciate it. Thank you guys. I don't know. I keep looking and I'm feeling very old. The beard is gray and the glasses are big, and the hat is a dad hat. But I'm fine. It definitely took me back to a game when I was a kid. That was I definitely used to watch those barn burners. I love the games that ended in the 70, 80 points. Really exciting. That's what you want in 2022. So it was a good game.
Let me match my boy Harrison one time for the one time. I ain't gonna hold you. Oh, the boy Ant say, where can you buy one of those hats, Harry? I'm glad you asked. If you visit thebasementsportsnetwork.com in our merch section, you can purchase one of these dad hats. I think they like $40 or something like that. Either way, it's just enough to get them made and get them shipped. And of course, rounding out the panel, we got two of those beautiful melanated men from the Cain gang, the California Cain himself, Brian. Brian, how are you doing today?
Oh, bro, I'm so tired. That game was horrible to watch. It literally nearly put me to sleep. But other than that, I'm doing great. Fortunately, I had to watch this atrocity, but, I'm surviving. I'm thriving. Life is good.
I don't know what you're talking about. I was watching good hoops tonight. Speaking of good hoops, a man who knows all about that, management himself, Cain got a calculator. My boy TJ. TJ, how you feeling today?
I'm feeling disgusted. This was not good hoop at all. I wanted to watch Monday Night Raw tonight, yet I tuned into the Miami Heat and I made it a bad decision. So yeah, we're feeling disgusted.
That is crazy that y'all feel like that. We almost 5 minutes into the show. Ain't talking about the game at all yet. It's because I'm stalling. I don't want to talk about this game very long. I want to get out of here at our normal hour time, but I want to fill this up with as much bullshit as I can so that I can stay away from what the fuck I just had to endure watching this team. Want to thank Belinsky Pierre for the $1.99 dono. He said that mid-ass win. Jimmy looked low-key pissed though. For sure. So we're going to start with Harrison today. Harrison, I saw what you put in the chat, man. We're going to see if you can go ahead and get through it. Harrison, give me your thoughts on tonight's game.
I thought Bam played amazing. He was really, really obviously his only real issue I find this season is he just got to cut out the turnovers a little bit, but he's been great. He matched up a bunch on Halliburton. I don't know why the Pacers kept letting that happen, but he did a good job teaching him that you really can't go one-on-one against Bam. It's not going to go well for you. Other than that, it was a kind of a bad shooting game all around. Tyler didn't shoot very well. Kyle didn't shoot well. This team was up by 19 early in the game and just let that go away because that's what they do. They're great at blowing leads. And I guess they'll be happy with the victory. They don't win too often in Indiana. They have it's like 13 and 40 something all time up there. So they'll take it. But yeah, I don't know how you look at this game and feel great about this team. The Pacers have been struggling. Obviously, with what's going on last week, any win is going to be they're going to take it with the way they're playing. But a lot of questions. Another 8-man rotation special from Spo. They just don't have a lot going on. They're lucky that the Pacers couldn't hit their shots because it could have been obviously a very different game.
Love the high energy that you're bringing to the panel right now, Harry. It is juicing me the fuck up. Jess, give me your thoughts on the game tonight.
So I have very similar thoughts. I also think if you're a glass half full person, which I'm not, you would call this a great defensive game, and that would be why both teams had 80-something points, but that's not the case. They both just sucked. Obviously, no one did anything other than Bam and Jimmy. Bam was unbelievable. I think you have a good game if you have a double-double in the whole game. He had one in the first half, which was absurd. He's that dude. Yeah, it was honestly, like Brian said, one of the most boring games that I've ever watched. Like, I don't know if we were, like, getting lucky Indiana was just sucking. Like, I almost wanted them to, like, play better so that we could play harder. It was just like, you know how Harry was being a little, like, low energy right now, and I'm trying to be a little more, like, high energy because I'm not trying to match his energy. Like, the game kind of felt like we're all just, like, here. It didn't look like anybody wanted to play basketball. No one else on our team did anything. I will give Dedmon a shout-out like I always do because when he came in the first half, I think he was in for 8 minutes.
That girl Jess was having technical difficulties out here in these streets. If you think we finna praise Dedmon, motherfucker, you got me fucked up. That's not what we doing here, Jess. That's not. Get back in here and talk right now. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead. What you saying? Exactly. He is fucking ass. That is the only language we allow. Go ahead. Continue.
All right. Moving on. I didn't get any Highsmith minutes either, so we don't got to worry about that. Yeah, it was bad all the way around. They got the dub. Tyler was unremarkable. So was Max. So was everyone. So, I don't know how they pulled it out. I think if Indiana was making like 5% higher field goal percentage, then they probably would have pulled that out. But yeah, it was bad basketball. So
if Tyrese Halliburton just had a bad game, we probably would have lost.
Yeah. You can't even call that bad.
Yeah, he had an all-time horrific game. Like, by his standards, he was probably the player I was most excited to watch in this game, and he was absolutely the most disappointing on the court. Want to thank JGB Respects for the $1.99 dono. That bitch. My brother, you said a lot. Yes, in so little words. That shit is garbage. Luke Apollon, thank you for the $1.99 dono. He said, when in doubt, Jimmy bail us out. What offense? None. Darius Jordan with the $10 dono. He said, I was robbed of a Bam 2020. It wasn't Tyler's fault this time. He wasn't rebounding worth the shit either. Cain, TJ, let's come to you. Give me your thoughts on tonight's game.
They almost did it again, man. I was praying on their downfall. Honestly, this game would have been way more entertaining if they lost. Because, my Lord, this team is awful. We can't even sugarcoat it anymore. We try to say, hey, maybe if Bam does this, maybe if Jimmy does this, maybe if they start working together, maybe
We
if they
lying.
make a couple moves. Lie like a ball.
we lie.
You know, this team is god awful. I mean, getting in a dogfight where you only score 87 points in an NBA game. Boring isn't even the word, man. This is high school hoops, man. I expect better from you being, a professional basketball team, but it's the Miami Heat in 2022. So it's the same thing, I mean, my God. Bam Adebayo did Bam Adebayo things, so shout out to Bam. Jimmy Butler is Jimmy Butler, and the rest of the roster. It's pathetic. It's pathetic, man. And I'm here for it. I just wish they would have lost.
Is that? I want to know in the comments. Is that y'all sentiment too? Like, is anybody a little heartbroken that they won this game? Like, it always puts a little damper on the post game show when they win. We love when they lose. We love it, and apparently y'all do too, because that's when most of y'all watch is when they lose. So, I mean, when they win, it does the same thing to everybody. It's doing it to us too. Y'all can feel a little bit. Don't worry. We're going to pipe this bitch up as soon as we can, but y'all just watch that. There's nothing there. Brian, give me your thoughts on the game.
I actually have some positives. Jimmy and Bam, obviously. Jimmy is a closer. For the first half of the first quarter, it looked like the Heat gave a fuck. They were scrambling on defense. It looked like they were in a playoff game, and then that went away because, they're not good. The rest of that game was horrible, bro. Like, I was actually, I'm not even lying. Like, at the end of the game in the fourth quarter, I was getting like frustrated that the game just wouldn't fucking end. Like, I don't even know, bro. Like, I was, oh my God, that game fucking sucked. That probably is like one of the least entertaining piece of media I've seen in a long time. Adam Silver was in the building. If I was Adam Silver, I would have came out at halftime and said, shut this shit down. Postpone this game. Like, man, I don't even know. That was horrible to watch. This team, they won. They 5 points after that, a 19-point lead. So you got outscored by 15 for the rest of the game, or 14 for the rest of the game. Yeah, the Heat aren't good. That's just the reality of the situation. This is a bad team. And you got really good games from your two best players. You played an average team. Like, this probably should have, after getting a big lead, this should have been a 10, 15-point win. Nope. And this is this team, man. Like, no lead is safe. It doesn't matter who you're playing. The Spurs, the Pistons, the Pacers, definitely not a good team. It's just a horrible, horrible product to watch. And I blame Pat Riley. Thank you for this atrocity, Pat.
Want to thank the man Voodoo Vision for the $9.99 donut. He said, hi, thank you for being more entertaining than Heat basketball. We know. We're watching it too. Oh, my bad. Thank you, Frosty Drip. I don't know if I like that name. For the $2, change your name on YouTube, bro. For the $2 donut, he said, great win against East rivals. LOL. This is what I want to ask you, Harrison. Was that a good win or a bad loss? Because it's already terrible enough that we won the game with 87 points. But we shot 38% from the field. And, I mean, that has to be a bad loss for Indiana, right?
I mean, listen, I think it's going to be a perspective kind of thing, right? If you believe that this Heat team just needs some wins to get off the snide and they can turn this thing around, then I guess it's a good win. You win any way you can. But I think, I was listening to you guys a bit from before. I don't know, man. We all know moves have to be made. I don't know what the delay is going on with the team. Everyone's eligible to be traded on the Heat except for two guys. They can move them later on January 15th, Depot and Dedmon. Obviously December 15th is when a lot of guys who signed as free agents would be available to be moved for the rest of the league. And they got to do something. Obviously, for some of us, we would want them to sell off assets and kind of trend towards that lottery pick that we have. We have the 2023 pick. there are also other moves that can be made that could help with the future that isn't watching undrafted free agents struggle every night. So was it a good win? I mean, they won. So if you want them to win, sure. But I don't think it really helps them go forward and say, oh, yeah, we can build on this. Like, they missed a ton of shots. The turnovers are bad. The blowing the 19-point lead isn't good. The execution down the stretch. They missed 3 of their last 4 free throws to ice the game. Nothing good is really happening right now. It's just, they'll take the W because they lost to the Pistons and the Spurs earlier this week. So they'll take it, but no one's excited about this. I know there are people who are excited about it. I don't think that's a rational response to what this team is doing on a nightly basis.
Neither do I, Harrison. I think it's actually batshit fucking crazy to be out here thinking that this team is going to turn around and become a good team. I don't think that's what they are. I think they fucking suck. I think they know at this point that they fucking suck. And then you got Tyler Herro out here talking like he make decisions about whether or not to go for the win or whatnot. I ain't gonna hold you, bro. Oh, y'all should have heard the nasty things I said about that white man when I read that come across my I might say them on stream later on when we get to Tyler Herro, just being real with y'all. Thank you, Alex Campbell, for the $4.99. I don't know. He said they almost had me with the 19-point lead, but I'm familiar with that game now. Won't be tricked. See, you smart, you growing, you evolving, you loyal. That's what. See, bro. Anybody who know, y'all know, bro. Thank you, JGB Respects, for the $1.99. Don't know. He said, give Strus that Duncan treatment, please. Can't do it because then we won't have no shooters on the floor. Jess, I want you to talk some tonight about what the fuck me and Harry was talking about. Was this a good win or was this a bad loss?
I think kind of like Harry says, like, it depends on your agenda, which I haven't fully made up my mind about mine yet because I just know this team, and like we've said on every stream, like they're not going to tank because Spoelstra and Riley and the rest of the front office are just all like too stubborn and consider they're still a respectable franchise. And so they're not going to do that. And so like, no, I don't think an 80-point game is ever going to be like a good win. Like, I just don't even think that you could call it that. And I agree that we didn't see anything like positive. I'll tell you this, like in the first quarter, I got somewhat optimistic, which is like rare for me because I was watching their offense and they were making that extra pass on almost every play. And it really looked good for a second. And like, it stuck out to me, even Tyler, which I was like, wow, okay. So that I was like, okay, like this looks good. And again, it's not a team that it should be a dogfight against. Like we're both like at 500 teams. So it shouldn't have even been the case, but that looked good. And like we were saying, they were hustling a little. We're like, okay, but it's like, then what happens? And same thing when they were up 18 or 19, I walked away, come back. I hear Erik Reed go, and the Pacers are on a 16-2 run now. And I'm like, it is like textbook. Like we do this all the time. And expecting something different is just like, it's stupidity. Like it just is. So, I mean, it's depressing. I told you guys I was wearing this shirt because I've been in my feelings today and I wanted to think of happier times. And that game did not help. So.
Hold on. Let me take a swig. That deserves. Because you spot on now. I just want to kind of help y'all understand what we be around here doing because y'all don't know if y'all really understand what this content creator game like. So I'm giving y'all nuggets this year. We ain't got to really talk about this game too much. Our job is to watch the Miami Heat play the same fucking game over and over and over again. And to get on here after each game and find a new and creative way to tell y'all that we just watched the same fucking game for the 27th time this season. Sometimes they win it, most of the time they lose it. But it is, in essence, the same goddamn game. Go ahead, TJ.
Ladies and gentlemen, tell me if y'all have heard this before, right? The Heat look great in the first quarter. The ball is moving. Guys are getting involved. They're making shots. The second quarter, the team starts to get a little competitive. They go on a little bit of run, but the Heat still hold their own. The third quarter, shit falls off the rails. They get smacked. All of a sudden, it's a competitive game going into the fourth quarter. And then in the fourth quarter, they forget how to do offense. Tell me we haven't seen that over and over and over and over. I have literally given you the MO to every Heat game this year. Sometimes they just luck their way into a win, but most of the time it's an L. I promise you. Spoiler alert, ladies and gentlemen, they play OKC on Wednesday. I guarantee you the same thing is going to happen.
Go ahead, Harry. You raised your hand like you wanted to jump in there, and then you stayed on mute as soon as I.
No, sorry. Unrelated. I'm really apologize.
It's okay. You can take the show in a different direction if that's what you choose to do. We're not really talking about this game. We're just talking with our friends in the comment section.
I have a question.
Sure. Go ahead, Jess.
I go a little different.
Ask it to Brian.
Okay, Brian. This is like a genuine question. Like, I hope this doesn't come off like sarcastic or anything, but
okay.
Realistically, and correct me if I'm wrong, like the only real change was losing PJ Tucker, right? Like we didn't add anybody, we didn't really lose anybody else, significant at least.
Oh, well, I don't know if you count Haywood Highsmith as significant. He's new to the rotation. Drew Smith started a game for the Miami Heat.
I mean, we made some additions, but
undrafted guys though.
Significant. Like, I just am having trouble understanding how were we like frauds last year being the 1 seed? Is it because Max and Duncan just don't know how to play basketball anymore, and we were like reliant on them at one point, and now we're like, I'm just not understanding how we're this bad compared to last year.
Oh, you want
Brian? No, Brian goes first, and then Harrison can go.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's not necessarily that they lost PJ specifically. I think that PJ's loss forces Caleb Martin to now be a 4, which it feels like the whole team is kind of playing out of position now. You also have the fact that Kyle Lowry is a year older, Jimmy's a year older. Obviously, they've been dealing with a little bit of injuries, but so is the rest of the league. Max and Gabe haven't been as good as they were last year. It just seems like a lot of what this team excelled at last year, they aren't excelling at this year. And obviously the league got better. You know, scouting departments figure out, you know, what you do well, they adjust. The Heat, by virtue of being the same team, you know, they don't have the counters to teams figuring out, you know, what works best for them, what doesn't. And as a result, you get this type of a team. And just in general, even last year, I don't think that last year they were a team with a huge margin of error. You know, when they're playing really, you know, when they're shooting the ball really well and they're really active on defense, and yeah, they can be competitive, they can win a lot of games. But if that's not the case the year after, they don't really have the juice to make up for that. So that's essentially been the story of this season. And I don't think it's going to change, especially as the season goes on, because the core of this team, a lot of the guys that this team relies on are old or don't have the talent level to make up for it. That's the core issue. It's, again, you have a lot of people in the team, around the team, that watch the team that are delusional about the fact that this team just isn't very good. The Miami Heat are not the main character of the NBA. There's no reason why all of a sudden they're going to catch fire and start winning games. Teams suck all the time across every sport. This has happened with individual athletes, with teams, with dynasties. It doesn't matter. Listen, this is the reality where we're at, and you know, either you change it or shit remains the same.
Before Harrison jumps in here, I think Brian kind of alluded to a point that I thought was very interesting, but he just kind of like danced around it a little bit. Last year, the Heat did things that they don't do this year. The one thing, most importantly, they were the top shooting team in the league. They were the best shooting team in the league. So all these guys, Max, Gabe, Tyler, everybody's shooting the shit out the basketball. They're shooting the cups. This year, they are not that. And so when you have a team that's not talented and they can't get to the rim and they're heavily relying on the 3-ball and they're not shooting at a historic level, then there it is. Harrison, I know you wanted to jump in on that question.
Yeah, so I think you're right. The 3-point shooting is obviously the biggest factor because they were number 1 3-point shooting team last year. That covered up a lot of errors that they had. The other factor, and it's not that they really miss PJ Tucker, it's that they didn't replace PJ Tucker. And so essentially they had a guy who was very good in the regular season, who played most of the games and allowed them to switch constantly on defense. That is something that they can't do now. Everyone is, you know, Kyle's a year older. Max is not doing as well on either side of the ball this year. And Vincent's been hurt. I think that's hurt his defense quite a bit. And it happens sometimes. Last year was just like everything worked. Anything Spo put out there worked. Yurt was putting up Shaq rebounding numbers for the 5 games he started when or it was longer than that, actually, for the games that he started when Bam was out. I mean, it was just everything was working. They pieced it together during the regular season, but that all fell apart in the playoffs when they couldn't shoot, and that has carried over into the season, minus PJ, who, whatever you thought about him, was an excellent defender. He was pretty good offensively for them. They got a lot out of his bag, which no one had ever done before. PJ Tucker has went back to barely shooting for the Sixers. And while we like Caleb, he's a good contract. He should be off the bench. He should be coming in for Jimmy. Caleb as a starting 4 just isn't going to help Bam be his best. It's not going to help the team be its best. And I think there's also, we've talked about this before, bringing these guys back, the 4th year of a build is really hard. It's really never worked for the Heat, even from teams that have won championships. Like if you remember the 06 team that won and they brought that team back, man, Gary Payton was yelling at Dwayne Wade in the playoffs. They did not like each other by the end. The 2013-2014 team that came back and tried to three-peat, they were slow, and it happened quick. They just, right in the finals, you're like, we are outmatched. We're outplayed by the Spurs team. And we're seeing that on a nightly basis because the Heat have no athletes. We are getting absolutely whooped up and down the floor. It doesn't matter if the team is bad or good. Everybody in the NBA is quick. Everybody in the NBA can do what the Heat can't, and it's affecting them on a nightly basis. And I don't think the answer is on the roster. Depot's back, and I didn't think he looked bad, but there's just, that's what people are saying. Give it 20 games, give it 25 games, wait till Depot's back. Maybe Yurt's foot will grow back. It's just, these things are stupid now. There's not anything that
that motherfucker was amputated, Harrison?
I don't know.
It might as well have been. He ain't played all year, and I don't think he's gonna play. I do think
not for the Heat.
Ball. I do think that last year, comparing last year to this year, is like it's absolutely a fruitless exercise at this point. Like it's like you have to deal with what's in front of you. Like we can't think about the moves that we didn't make at this point. We need to think about the moves that we need to make. And I think that's coming kind of like crashing down. Let's circle back around to this game. Kyle Lowry and Tyler Herro were both awful in this game. TJ, which one of them was worse?
Damn. This is tough. I'll go Kyle, because at least Tyler Herro was passing the ball early. He was looking good doing that. But my God, Kyle Lowry, if you can't make shots, if you continue – He's back to doing these head-to-head passes again. I thought we was done with that for the season. I mean, and they have made a disgusting return. Kyle Lowry, he's literally out there just to complain and run around, man. Complaining on the call. He's begging Spo to challenge, gets upset.
Oh my God.
Doesn't challenge. They played a replay clearly off of Kyle Lowry.
Shameless.
It annoys me to watch him play basketball, man. Like,
load it up, Justin.
Yeah.
Shameless. Hurry up and get there. What is this? That ain't what we're talking about, Justin. That's yeah. No, we talk about about horrific Lowry hoops.
He did look
best Kyle Lowry impression. That's
them Raptors hoops.
There we go. My God, what a terrible pass.
That's not it either. Justin, you fucking up, bro. Yeah. Haywood, Highsmith of producers back here.
Yeah, that's putting up 85 points in an NBA game. That's what it's looking like.
I'll finna cook his ass. The Strus of the basement. Fuck is you talking about? Out here bricking the highlights. Fuck wrong with this boy. Okay. What Brian went? Okay, there you go. Brian, who was worse, Herro or Kyle Lowry?
I'm gonna go Kyle because like Twan said, like at least Tyler was passing. At the beginning of the game, it looked like he made it a point to facilitate more. And when he's doing that, like his chemistry with Bam is pretty damn good. And like I've said a lot of times in the show, Bam is a great target. So that's easy buckets for Bam, which is good for the Heat. He played like a jackass outside of that, which is kind of expected. But at least he was trying to do something. Kyle Lowry just did not do shit the entire game. $30 million worth of shit is crazy to me. That's the most expensive bag of shit I've ever seen in my life. But you know, that's what I expect. It's what I expect. Ira Winderman said at some point that the Heat expected Kyle Lowry and Victor Oladipo to return to their all-star forms in order to get back to where they wanted to be. That, to me, means that you should be automatically drug tested, probably put in a retirement home, yada, yada, whatever. But, yeah, Kyle Lowry's not good. He's very, very average. And tonight he was that. A 37-year-old average point guard that doesn't do shit.
Washed is the word that we all think of when that comes. Henley L, thank you for the $5 dono. He said, I say just tank. We just say that too. He said, no need to have other channels ranting at Heat fans who refuse to accept our 2022 trade deadline acquisition. Omer Yurtseven. That nasty shit there, we will not have it though.
Yo, let me comment on the Omer thing real quick. Do we even know if he's good? Like, where did that narrative come from? Like, yeah, he's been hurt. Everyone's like, wait till Omer Yurtseven gets back. We don't even know if he's a good basketball player.
Hey, bro. It's an effective tool when you uprooting the goalpost and moving that motherfucker another 50 yards down the fucking field. When you have,
y'all just assumed this guy was gonna be decent.
Omer Yurtseven is like Jon Snow when the White Walkers was on his ass. He's the last line of defense that people got against calling his team ass. Wait till we don't know what you're gonna be like. Yeah, all right, bro. Like, enough. It's the same with 20 games, same with Victor Oladipo. A shit team is a shit team, bro. Like, you just got to eat that. Thank you, JGB Respects with the $4.99 dono. Strus and Lowry making a depot statue for Indiana with all those bricks. Hey, listen, bro. That bitch should be made out of platinum, though. Who was the last good player that Indiana had outside of Victor Oladipo? Paul George. Young Paul George. Danny Granger was the guy. David West.
Roy Hibbert gave LeBron some of his toughest battles.
Roy Hibbert. He was terrible, but he was elite.
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
If I ever see Roy Hibbert in person for what he did to the Heat all them years, bro.
1,000. I was square with that boy. Harrison, who was worse, Kyle Lowry or Tyler Herro, and why was it Tyler Herro since TJ and Brian already talked about Kyle Lowry?
Oh, I don't want to do that, but if you want me to play, I mean, Tyler obviously didn't shoot very well tonight. It's kind of what you need from him. That's why he's out there. You kind of need him to be shooting well. I thought he did do other things. The passing was better. He had a weirdly good plus minus. I was looking at the end of the game, so they did play better when he was out there tonight. But they're struggling together. They're not a good backcourt together. I've kind of been saying they got to pick and choose between one of them. And my thought is get rid of Lowry because then you could force Jimmy to make a decision. We can all move on. I think you're kind of forcing them into. I think that's what you got to do at this point. Like don't ask players what they think. Just do what you got to do and let's move forward. I did want to comment a bit on Brian's thing. On Brian's thing about Yurt. I'm not sure if we know Yurt's good. We know he can rebound, and I think we liked him in summer league, so we were hoping he could get a little more run. With a lot of these guys on the team, a lot of these guys who are expiring this year, and the Heat need to make a decision on them. I don't want the Heat to make a decision on them. They are going to make the wrong decision. So I would like another team to make the wrong decision on them. So if you can,
Yurt was prime Patrick Ewing in the summer league, Harrison. I just want to put that out there.
Listen, he has skills. There's probably something there. It might take 5 to 10 years, and I don't have that kind of time to wait.
He looked like he was him right then and there.
That's my thing. People are like, man, if we can really harness these are undrafted players. They didn't get drafted for a reason. We can get a year or two out of them where they can contribute. We can't be relying on them to be
Harrison. It's because every other front office is blind except for Pat Riley and Cameron.
I don't know why we can't why can't we just take a good thing, use it for what we need, and then throw it out the window, right? Like take the undrafted free agent. You need him for a year. You need a couple guys to come in because you're wasting roster spots on UD's corps, and you have empty roster spots because you don't want to pay the tax. So be it. That's your game plan. That's what makes you an elite front office, obviously. So that's fine.
You don't want to see Hall of Fame talent like Willie Showtime Reed walk out of your franchise and light it up for another team, which he never did in real life.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like the last guy that left the Heat, and you're like, man, the last one you could possibly think of is like Pat
James.
Beverly, and he went to Greece for a couple of years to figure it out. So it's okay. It's all right if these guys go on and 10 years later, that's fine. No one has 10 years. We're trying to win right fucking now. And if we're not going to win now, get rid of these guys. I don't want to. Strus has shown that I'm not sure if playing him 40 minutes early in the season ruined his life, but he looks bad. These 7-man rotations, I tried to warn people they wouldn't be good. Here we are as hell. Gabe Vincent's knee is shot. Yurt is, I don't know. He suffered some ankle injury that we didn't even know was that bad, and then he's suddenly out for 3 months.
And Duncan Robinson is still on the roster.
Yeah, these guys, they have a shorter shelf life. If we wanted to really do the science, we could figure it out. Just move on from them. Do not re-sign them. Do not pass go and get them out of my team. I don't want them here anymore. No one really wants them here. No one's excited about this. Riley's not happy that he paid Duncan. No one's happy that Max Strus is struggling. No one's happy with Gabe Vincent's bum knee or Yurt's foot. Just move on. And if they have any value, get something for them. There was the rumor today that the Bucks are trying to acquire guys with second-round picks because picks have value. It doesn't matter what round they are. When you have that opportunity to move a guy for a pick, you do it. I get mocked on Twitter relentlessly for trading. Someone's like, "Oh, I'm going to trade my kid for a second-round pick." Okay, if that's how you feel about your kid, then you have an issue with your child. But in terms of a player, make the move and trade him for a pick because that's how teams get better. And then you'll find the next guy because you always do. I'm done.
I had Cam Reddish going for a second. I'm a Harrison stan, bro. I let you see how long I let you cook just there, Harrison? You was spitting the bars for the folks. So I like to give you the place, this platform, the space that you need to ISO and cook. Go Kobe on this bitch sometime. It don't matter. Clear out, everybody. Let that man work. Jessica, I have no idea what I asked these 3 gentlemen prior to getting
I need a different question anyway because our starting point guard had 2 assists, so I have nothing to say about him.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah, I was asking about Kyle Lowry versus Tyler Herro anyway, so you can talk about Tyler Herro instead.
I mean, look, he is the only other person on our team other than – I just want to point this out if we didn't talk about this. I did say that I think – Bam had 22. Jimmy had like 20. No one else was in double digits. It's not that no one else had 10 points. And Tyler's the only other person that can do that. So evidently we're not going to pass like the 80-point threshold unless Tyler is actually scoring. And he had 8 points. And so did Lowry. And so at that point, like, who else are you expecting over 10 points from? I mean, I don't know who you can like rely on like consistently to do that other than Tyler. So when he doesn't do that, I think that's part of the explanation of the offensive struggles. So, I mean, I guess it's good that you got 6 assists when you weren't shooting well and still, tried to do something positive. Like I say, like when the shot's not falling, like play defense or pass or do something positive. So I guess he did, but I just underwhelming performance from both of them. So
I have a pretty heinous Tyler Herro question to ask you, TJ. Do people think Tyler Herro's so good because he's been playing next to undrafted players his whole career, and so by comparison, he looks really good?
To be fair.
No, fuck being fair. Be honest. Tell the truth.
I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I think the reason people think Tyler Herro is so good is because the Heat haven't seen like good basketball players. Like Heat fans haven't seen like skilled basketball players who can do things like dribble, and like shoot off the dribble, and like come around the screen with the ball still in their hands, like while they're dribbling, and then shoot the ball like like do that with like 3-pointers. As well as like mid, like they're not used to that, And Tyler Herro, while mid, is like the closest thing they've gotten to that, since prime Dewayne Wade. So no, not even prime. Let me not be disrespectful.
Father Prime was him.
Yeah, let me not be disrespectful. Father Prime was, and then we had that boy. We had Dion Waiters. I can't be disrespectful.
Real hoops recognize real hoops.
You feel me? So that's really what it is. But he's not that guy, pal. You know, he's not him. He's very okay. He's very okay. He's good enough for you to talk about him, but not good enough for you to write him on the scouting report. That's it.
He's very okay. I like that, Josh. You seem not to agree.
I do my only rebuttal. So, I mean, I don't know if this is like every other fan base wants to call us crazy and shit and say that the media and the league and everyone just doesn't fuck with the Heat for some reason. I think we saw that when we were actually decent and we're never getting any like media cover, anything. We're never in like playoff talks. We were the 1 seed and they're like, oh no, whatever. We're never even in any conversation. So I swear I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I really think they don't like us. And I just feel like the only like justifications are like, okay, I'm not crazy. It's like, I feel like they don't hand out that 6th man of the year. And like, there were other like decent guys. I mean, I don't remember, were we calling Jordan Poole 6th man? Like there were some guys that I just thought were great. And for some reason they chose Tyler. And so, you know, I think he, in the grand scheme of things, like I said this the other day on Twitter, like he's a good basketball player. It depends on, we think he's good or bad based on like what we're expecting from him. Like everyone has a different expectation. If he's not reaching that, then we're like, hey, he's kind of shitty. Or if he's surpassed what we thought, then we're like, he's good. But like literally what I wrote is some people think he's like the next coming of Jordan and other people are like, he's awful. And the truth is it's somewhere in the middle. But you know, he's good if he's giving us 20 something points a night and some assists and like 2 rebounds. Like, I don't give a shit. I'll take that. But we know what he is, right? Like we have to just take it for what it is. If he can play a little defense, like there's nothing to be mad about. You know,
He can't do that.
Too hype about him, you know, like
yeah, he can't play no defense. Brian, you want to jump in, bro?
Yeah, I think it's both. I mean, the number one reason is that he's a swaggy white boy, and a lot of fans see themselves in Tyler. They want him to be successful. So, but yeah, no, I also definitely think it's that he is a decent, not elite, not great, a decent bucket getter on a team with none of those. And so within this context, he looks pretty good. Still can't do shit without a screen, but you know, if you put Jordan Clarkson on the Heat, you'd probably get 22. If you put Gary Trent Jr. on the Heat, you might get 22. There's a lot of guys like Tyler Herro in the league. We just don't see him all that often. So I think that while I'm not saying he's like trash, like he's comparatively, he might look like the next coming of whoever you want to say he's the next coming of. I mean, when Kendrick Nunn, you know, during his first year, people were saying he's the best rookie since Dwayne Wade. Now on a team where you have the Lakers are trash, but you know, they still got LeBron James and AD and like actual talent. It's like, oh, this is Kendrick Nunn. He probably shouldn't even be in the league. I'm not saying Tyler Herro is that bad, but you know, it kind of, you know, shows that, you know, once you're around like actual good NBA players, people see who you are. So yeah, Tyler Herro definitely was put into a very advantageous situation.
Harrison, you look offended by my question, bro.
Well, you have your agendas to push, and I respect your agenda pushing. I just think like the real issue with Herro is that he is probably never going to be good enough defensively where it offsets what he's doing on the other end. Like there are guys in this league, like I feel similarly, they're not the same offensively, but I feel similarly like guys with Trae Young. Trae is so bad defensively that I don't care what he does offensively. It does not offset the mismatch that you provide when he's on the court. Like you guys remember the playoffs last year, the Heat, and he still hasn't recovered from that beating the Heat gave him last year. There are guys in the league that are very, very bad defensively to the point where they don't really help enough on the offensive side. For example, like an Isaiah Thomas, who just keeps trying to get in the league and says his defense isn't that bad, but it was that bad. And I think that's kind of where you are. Herro is limited by his size and his length. And if he's not going to be that good defensively, you need so much from him offensively. And last year it was pretty efficient, especially in the regular season. He had a good season. The shot hasn't really fallen this year. They've asked him to change his role a little bit. They want him to be more of a catch and shoot guy, and the numbers aren't coming in. And so I think there's just there's like a bunch of stuff going on. The Heat are trying to prop him up as like their guy, and he's like Brian said, he's probably not good enough to be that guy. At the same time, they're not ready to move off of him yet because they probably haven't gotten what they think is the right player or the right value. And a lot of the season and a lot of going into the offseason is just figuring out like where do they go from here? Can they move Tyler now, even though they've made it complicated on themselves? So they're waiting for July to do that. I don't think he's.
They can move his ass to the bench, Harrison.
To me, that's just admitting that the whole thing was a failure. And
is it not a failure, Harrison?
But they're too proud to do that. But they're too proud.
I don't care about it. Pride. Hold on, let me cut you off because TJ wants to jump in and I need to read this dono. Thank you, Darius Jordan, for the $5 dono. He said Rex Chapman with a green light. Tyler, yeah, for sure. Rex Chapman could hoop though. Like Tyler can't really hoop. You feel me? He just can do a little song with him. He can play basketball. That's what Tyler Herro can do. He can't hoop. TJ, you want to jump in one time?
Yeah, man. This whole Tyler to the bench thing, I get it, right? But then he ran with the bench. You feel me? And
tonight wasn't great. Tonight, my agenda wasn't.
It was a whole lot of ass out there. I ain't gonna lie to you. A whole lot of ass out there. Boy couldn't get nothing off the dribble. He was calling for Caleb Martin screens, and nothing was happening. He called for Dedmon screens, and you know how those go. It ain't really hitting the same this year. Keep that boy with the stars. Keep that boy with the stars, please.
Hey, well, you only saying that because you with the sabotage, bro. Your Wemby agenda is public. So we already know if you say keep Tyler out there with the starter, that's because you intend to lose. I'm trying to help y'all. Listen to me. I'm trying to make the Heat decent this year. Put Tyler Herro on the bench. Y'all don't have to listen to me now. But as the season goes along, you will continue to hear me say this because it's where he belongs. But we found the perfect role for Tyler last year and then ripped him from it this season. Go ahead, Harrison. What you got? Because I can defend this.
No. Because I just think like if he really is a six man and then the Heat went and extended him what they extended him like, and they want to move him, they can't really be like, oh yeah, he's a six man. Here you go, because that's going to lower his value around the league. You need to find a team that likes him, thinks he can, score 25 a game for them.
Yeah, they found that last year. They just wouldn't trade him. They decided to pay him $30 million instead.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. The whole thing would be a failure from top to bottom. You paid him at the wrong time. You shouldn't have paid him the amount you paid him.
It's a failure now.
It's not looking great on December 12th, but like my plan would be just figure out the bench because the bench is trash and the bench is horrible.
I figured it out already.
No.
Why are you figuring out the bench? And I'm giving you the answer to the test. And you are fighting me on it. I don't understand.
No, this is like theoretical calculus, and there's different answers. There's not like one answer. It's not a multiple choice test. Okay. So while I appreciate your theory and
it's not a theory, it is known fact that Tyler Herro is a better bench player than he is a starter. He won Six Man of the Year last year. Motherfuckers love talking about last year. Let's talk about last year when Tyler Herro was good and impactful at basketball. Where was he? On the bench.
I have a comment.
Put him back. Go ahead.
The only reason that he was able to come off the bench is because we, with our starting five, were able to not go down by 30 because Duncan or Max or whoever we decided to start could actually hit a couple threes like they're paid to do, and then Tyler could come up. We can't even afford to let him do that.
So first of all, take some of that bass out your voice when you're talking to me. Don't yell at me. I do the yelling right here. But okay, you are right. You are absolutely right. They were hitting shots last year. Don't you think they would hit shots again if they were playing? Max looked really, really good when he played with the starters. And now he's back on the bench, and now he's really, really mid.
So do we start? Let's start Max and Duncan next game, and let's see.
Why?
You cooking?
Whoa.
He was in our starting five. If I
gotta go to full apocalypse though by putting Duncan out there. He just got 2
started.
fouls when you see
Hurry up, Jeff.
What happened to him? He started on this team. It's crazy.
They said just it's also whoa, never mind. Just won't with me. Yes, she did. Just said scoop. Yes, she did. Turn up for the trade folks in the comments. Just go. God damn.
I really I feel you, and there are people that for whatever reason are better off the bench, but we just can't. We're not in a position where we can do that this year. We just we can't.
Listen, bro, just trying to blow the team up. That girl say stop Duncan and Max. Oh, you think our defense terrible now? Wait till you see that shit go out there. Oh, thank you, Dad Jordan, for the $5 dono. Scoot. Hey, y'all know we about. Hey, when the mask came off, bro, I'm tired of pretending. It's really exhausting to try and pretend like the team finna win sometimes. Not gonna lie. Start Dedmon too. Oh, you cooking with Crisco, bitch. Fuck is you talking about? Hey, y'all bag out here with these different ideas. Anywho, let's talk about the next game. We going to OKC, so that means we get to see SGA, MVP candidate SGA, and I am excited. I've been watching SGA the whole season, but I'm gonna see him again against the Miami Heat, so that's gonna be entertaining. Jess, the girl feeling good?
I just want to point out SGA has 32 points right now. The game's not over. Against Dallas, who's actually a somewhat respectable team. So, we'll see what happens. I'm not feeling great about it, but I never am. I never know what to expect. So, Giddey, can we play some defense? Can we anything? I don't know. I just never know. So, no, I'm not feeling that good about it.
So, Jess, let me tell you something about that name that you just said. We trendsetters out here. Giddey's a name that we ain't talked about. But when you're looking at OKC, they're going to have to get rid of some of them players. I got my eyes on that Australian. I'm just gonna put it out there. So y'all, if y'all hear people start talking about Giddey later on, Jess brought it up first. Jess she broke it.
I didn't.
The Heat are interested in Josh Giddey. Sources have confirmed. To Jess. Now, blame Jess if that shit lied. Harrison, the boy feeling good?
Not particularly. So we got Thursday is the deadline where a lot of guys are going to be trade eligible. I'd like to see some type of move. I don't want to move this pick. There's no reason to do that. Just shuffle some chairs on the Titanic. We're going down, but give me some different faces while we fade into the abyss. And I'm good with that. I just need a new team. I need new guys to root for. I can't take any of these guys anymore. I'm done with Dedmon. I think I'm completely done with undrafted free agents. I don't really have an issue with Orlando Robinson, but I'm not going to be happy if I don't like him anymore. And they have ruined, it was a try hard, a feel good story. And now it's like, get out of my life. So no, I don't feel great. What do you say? We're playing the Thunder next. Wonderful. I hope I don't know what I even want. I don't want to trade. The wins and losses right now are not doing it for me. I want to move because we should have made a move in the offseason. We didn't do that. And we need something. I need a different face in a different place, and I need it now. So hopefully someone's listening. Hopefully someone cares about what I say and how I feel. And that can be done over the next week or so, because I'm tired of these 8 guys or 9 guys or whatever Spo wants to do. But great that they scored 87 points. I'm proud of them.
Harrison, I want to let you know that I care about what you say and how you feel, just so that we can have that validation live on air. I do care. And if you ever think anybody does it, call me, brother. I will definitely let you know that I do. I will sit there and talk to you. I promise you I will. Brian, the boy feeling good?
I'm actually feeling great about this game. I think that the Heat are going to come out looking like the 2012 Miami Heat versus the OKC Thunder. It's going to be a blowout. If I was an executive, anything less than that would be deeply, deeply disturbing. I would blow it up. listen, this should be no less than a 30-point win. It's the Thunder. You're competing for championships, right? You got Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo and Kyle Lowry and Victor Oladipo and Tyler Herro and a bunch of undrafted, try-hard, G Leaguers. Like, you can't even – this can't even be close versus the fucking Thunder. Who are those guys? They live in Oklahoma. That's not even a real state. So I feel great about it. Like I said, if you're an executive watching, you should feel great about this too. You absolutely should. And you know what to do if it's anything less than a blowout. So they're going to blow them out. So I'll be confident.
I want to thank Jordan L for the $199 donor. He said, hopefully they lose these next few games. I hate to disappoint you, Jordan L and Brian. Brian, the Heat about to blow that shit out. Fuck is you talking about? I know you feel me. You feel me? They would never. Hey, TJ, bro, I told you last game, bro. I'm finna lie to these folks right to their fucking face, bro. I'm gonna look. Let me look in the camera line to y'all. The Heat are about to win this game convincing.
Can I give my prediction?
I didn't even go to cancel me.
The boy is off his game. The boy is off his game.
Don't look at me.
I mean, this is. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry. You see what the Heat is doing to people? You see this? Not even royal.
Damn. My bad, my boy. The boy feeling good.
Oh, I'm feeling good. Ladies and gentlemen, I get to watch real hoops again. I've been waiting for this moment all season. I absolutely love the Oklahoma City Thunder. I know Shea is in the game right now, but as we speak, he has 35 on Tyler Herro's head. I get giddy about that boy Giddy, so don't talk to me nice about Giddy. I need him on this roster. He's one of the best passers I've ever seen a day in my life. Brian said that he wanted to blow out. Oh, it's going to happen because OKC is going to beat this team by 40. They're going to beat this team senseless. There's no way you're going and going to have 87 points against Oklahoma City Thunder. That ain't happening. That's real hoops over there. They actually have good players on their team, unlike the Miami Heat. They have somebody who can bink, hezzy, still get to the rim, still can shoot. I'm more than excited about this game. Can't wait for a Heat loss. Can't wait for the Wemby agenda to be back. I won't be fooled, and I hope y'all not either. Now you can go. Go ahead, bro.
I'm so sorry that I did that. But it's a good thing that they got this win tonight to start this road trip off with a little bit of insurance, like the primary sponsor of the Basement Sports Network. Simple Health Advisors. Ladies and gentlemen, insurance does not need to be complicated. Email them or give them a call today and tell them that the Basement sent you. Send my guy James Poe an email at jpoe@simplehealthadvisors.com or give him a call at 321-345-7738. Thank you, James Poe. Thank you to the people over at Simple Health Advisors for everything that you've done for this network so far this year.
He's back, ladies and gentlemen. My God.
The kid had to come back and put up a little something, you know what I mean, after an egregious error like that. As a matter of fact, TJ, you get in the middle seat. You close the show tonight, my boy. My bad, bro.
I get to do the whole thing?
It's your show, bro, dog.
Appreciate you guys in the comments for joining us as always. The show wouldn't be the same without y'all. Thank you, Jess. Thank you, Hot Take Harry, for joining us on the program, as well as them two members of the Cain gang. Shout out to my dog, Royal. Shout out to my dog, Brian. We see y'all next game. Can't guarantee I will be here, but either way, play the video, Justin. Damn.
I don't want to do that. I'm good.